The fragile Iran ceasefire is facing a fresh shock as reports emerge of a second tanker coming under attack in the Strait of Hormuz. Early indications suggest the ship was hit by an unidentified projectile that damaged the vessel and may have caused oil to spill into the strategic waterway. A maritime tracking and reporting agency has confirmed that the tanker suffered environmental damage. The incident has sparked questions over whether the confrontation between the United States and Iran is restarting after only a brief lull for Swiss peace talks. According to incident reports, this is the second tanker to be attacked in the Strait of Hormuz recently, coming at a time when tensions between Iran and the US already soaring over ceasefire violations and contested maritime control. The UK-based Maritime agency says it received a report of an incident in Hormuz on June 27, triggering formal alerts to shipping in the area and adding another serious entry to an already long list of security warnings for the strait. The UKMTO statement said, and I quote, "The master of tanker has reported being struck by an unidentified projectile. The vessel sustained damage to their bridge. All crew are reported safe. Environmental damage reported at present. Vessels are advised to transit with caution and report any suspicious activity to UKMTO. Authorities are investigating." Unquote. Crucially, the attack came just hours after US and Iranian forces exchanged fire in what was already being seen as a major test of the ceasefire, making this tanker strike look like a potentially decisive blow to already fragile de-escalation efforts. Iran strikes US-linked targets in Bahrain as fresh hostilities threaten to derail the fragile peace process. Bahrain accuses Iran of drone strike near the strategic US 5th Fleet headquarters. Manama condemns attack as a blatant breach of its sovereignty and regional security. Bahrain vows to defend its territory as fears of a wider Gulf escalation grow. Tehran defends defensive response, saying it acted after recent US military strikes on Iran. Iran says US airstrikes violated the war-ending agreement reached just last week. US struck Iranian missile, drone and radar sites only hours before Tehran's response. Pentagon said strikes retaliated for the drone attack on a cargo ship near the Strait of Hormuz. New tit-for-tat strikes to push the fragile US-Iran ceasefire to the brink of collapse?
Mr. President, you said that Iran violated the ceasefire.
Yeah,
will they face any consequences?
Well, you'll find out.
Do you consider the ceasefire to still be in place?
I don't like the fact that they took a shot yesterday, actually 4, we knocked down 3, at a ship. Not an allied ship, but a ship, a very expensive ship. And it was fine, but it took a little beating. They shouldn't be doing that, so you'll find out.
Will the U.S.
You'll find out.
Will the U.S. respond? What is your message to Iran?
Will I respond? You're going to find out.
The US-Iran ceasefire is now facing what could be its biggest test since the agreement was announced. Iran's IRGC claims it carried out retaliatory strikes against US military targets in the region. Tehran has accused Washington of violating the peace agreement, raising fresh concerns about the ceasefire's future. IRGC's statement read, and I quote, "According to Article 5 of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, arrangements for controlling transit and movement in the Strait of Hormuz are under the responsibility of the Islamic Republic of Iran. However, the United States, by inciting various parties, sought to violate this commitment, and an appropriate response was given, and it will be the same going forward. In the event of a repeated act of aggression, our response will be broader than this." Unquote. An Iranian official has condemned the US attack, calling it a reckless violation of the ceasefire agreement. Ibrahim Azizi said, and I quote, "The US attacked Iran in the middle of negotiations once again. The failed US president has shown he has no commitment to the principles of negotiation or a ceasefire. This reckless violation of the ceasefire will, as always, lead to retreat and regret on their part. The blame game does not work anymore." Unquote. The strikes came after the US accused Iran of being responsible for an attack on a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. The US military says it targeted Iranian missile, drone, and radar sites during the operation. CENTCOM's statement read, and I quote, US Central Command, CENTCOM, forces conducted strikes against Iran, June 26, as a powerful response to yesterday's attack on a commercial ship that was transiting the Strait of Hormuz. US aircraft struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites after Iran hit MV Ever Lovely on June 25 with a one-way attack drone. The Singapore-flagged cargo ship was exiting the Strait of Hormuz along the Omani coast at the time of Iran's attack. The unwarranted aggression against commercial shipping by Iranian forces clearly violated the ceasefire. Furthermore, Iran's dangerous behavior undermined freedom of navigation as commerce increasingly flows through the vital international trade corridor. CENTCOM forces continue to provide safe passage coordination and support to commercial vessels transiting the strait. The US military remains present and vigilant to ensure all aspects of the agreement with Iran are adhered to, obeyed, and in full force and effect, unquote. Iran has rejected allegations of attacking the commercial vessel, calling them false flag operations. Meanwhile, President Trump's vice president issued a fresh warning, urging Iran not to risk further escalation. J.D. Vance said, and I quote, "Iran signed a ceasefire agreement. We have honored it. If they have disagreements about how the memorandum of understanding is being applied, they can pick up the phone, but violence will be met with violence," unquote. The United States has urged Iran to resolve tensions through diplomacy rather than military action. As both sides trade accusations, the fragile ceasefire is coming under growing pressure. The big question now is whether the US-Iran peace deal is already beginning to unravel.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.